Hello, my name is Seth Spaulding. I'm an electrical engineering and electronics major here at BCTC. A fun fact about me, I actually do race cars as a hobby, and I was actually part of a racing team called the Super Soft Racers for all my Letterkenny fans out there. So today I would like to discuss to you guys about my interpersonal communication class, specifically about my intercommunication journal, or as I like to call it, the interjournal. It actually goes through multiple chapters that we have read and we discuss in the book, in the journal, what I've done in the past and how I think about how I could have done better here in the present and what I would keep doing in the future. So as a personal goal, I want to do this to better help my career and help other team members become better communicators and help me become a better communicator for those team members. So, after reading the book Reflect and Relate, I found out my favorite chapter is actually chapter 3, Perceiving Others. Perceiving others is like seeing how people view you and how you view others. Another good chapter really talks about this word called Gestalt, which is actually what the word that we use to judge others based on their gender, personality, which can always be changing, and other factors like status and looks. But I've also learned is that this chapter has really helped me out, showing negative gestalts, such as the horn effect, where I have been with a team member who I negatively had a bias against, and the horn effect came into effect because of how much I always just neglected them and how I didn't really negatively thought about them, even though what they may be communicating to me was right. As for my least favorite chapter, would be chapter 4, expressing and experiencing emotions. The chapter talks a lot about feelings and moods and other emotions that we usually deal with on a day-to-day basis. But I just don't really understand it very well, and I'm very bad at it. And as I was reading this chapter, I looked up this website, and this website had an article by a guy named Kevin Kosis. He talks about how we're clueless to our emotional intelligence because we don't know how others perceive us to a T. And he also talks about a study that was done by the University of Michigan where it showed a 34 to 48% decline in the past over an 8-year period on emphatic skills. Learning this, I kind of learned that this is probably a reason why our culture is very not empathetic towards others, and how I really need to build on these skills. Knowing this, I was able to figure out that my listening style or communication style is very intuitive. I really like to see the big picture and a lot of events or communication or things that I do, but instead of taking the steps one by one, I like to jump way to the end. This can cause a lot of issues, a lot of confusion, and I've learned that this is a skill that definitely needs to be worked on. Definitely need to keep up with the interpersonal communication, read more on the book, do a lot more learning and listening, and just trying to do better overall to better help me and others. To conclude, this was a great class, and I definitely will take it again.